I'm spoiled like that is something people cannot stop talking about if you are keeping up with the Lindsay Clancy trial. This is Emily Thorndike, and she went on to the stand yesterday after she was sought out on TikTok and was then put in connection with Reddington, who is Lindsay Clancy's defense attorney. She got onto the stand, she was asked where she lives, and she stated that she was from Brooklyn, New York, but then went on to explain that she spends the summers in Cape Cod because she's spoiled like that.
And what town do you live in?
I actually live in Brooklyn, New York, but I summer on Cape Cod. I'm spoiled like that. So.
This was met with a ton of backlash. People on both sides of this saying she was extremely nervous, we need to have some grace. Other side saying this is completely unprofessional, and it's exactly why we cannot seek out TikTok content creators to come onto a trial for any type of case such as this. Now, after Emily took the stand yesterday, she did come to TikTok to post a story, which is a disappearing story, just to clear the air and say she's hearing the feedback, she's sitting with it, she's taking it all in, and she absolutely thinks it's warranted for people to see this as a unprofessional comment. However, the story then disappeared, and so then she felt inclined to come and make an actual video for her TikTok page. She gets on and says she understands that it was unprofessional. She absolutely gets why people feel like this was an out of line statement, and she felt like she needed to give context. She said that when Reddington asked her where she lived and she stated in New York, she felt like he was maybe annoyed with her or irritated, and so she made a joke to kind of lighten the mood and said that she stays in Cape Cod during the summers because she's spoiled like that. Clearly, it was not the time and place, and that is where the significant amount of backlash has come. Many people arguing, even in this video, saying that's not the time and place. Anybody who gets on the stand should know this is not the time and place to be joking or have any light-hearted comments back. You're on the stand for a murder trial. In addition, a lot of people in the comments were saying that they were getting blocked by Emily. So while she was stating that, she is remorseful for saying it, people are saying that she really isn't being as receptive because they are getting blocked one by one for just pointing out that it was an unprofessional statement. Others stating this wasn't the only thing she said during her testimony that came off really unprofessional. They stated that the way that she went about talking and how she was kind of having more of a conversation with Reddington versus just answering the yes or no questions. She also stated that rent was expensive. Just a lot of comments that made it more of a conversation piece versus I'm here in a professional setting trying to get my point across and really stand up for what Lindsay Clancy actually faced in McLean Hospital. Instead, people feel like she lost credibility with those statements alone. In addition, one of the bigger videos that's getting some traction, the creator actually reached out to Emily just to say, I'm a mental health professional. I was just sad how that came off because I'm sure you're knowledgeable and skilled in your discipline, but being cute or funny isn't the right moment. Court is objective, facts by nature, and serious. And she responds, okay, umbrella. Not really sure what that means. Emily then goes on to say, it's not an easy thing to do, which I would assume many people could understand and give her grace in that regard. Poster then says, I've testified, I know. And Emily responds, send me footage so I can critique you. Whether you're giving her grace and think that she had every right to mess up because she's a human, bottom line, it didn't come across professional. Bottom line, it really puts a bad taste in people's mouths now for people to seek out anybody on TikTok, even with extreme knowledge in situations like this, and even if you've worked at one of the locations that's being mentioned in the trial. I'm sure Emily is reflecting a lot more internally, and she's probably being really kind of beaten up inside about this. I do unfortunately think that this is further proof maybe TikTok content creators should not be sought out during very serious trials such as this. But I want to hear from you guys. How do you feel like Emily did on the stand? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.